All right, Shalom. All praise unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rachakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and mercy to the house of David, the elect. To you, I say greetings. Okay, the main book that I want to get in on today is Micah, the fourth chapter. You know, because people don't realize that, first of all, the days that we're in, but many people don't realize the things that are coming, what the heathen will be doing in the kingdom under the nation of Israel. All right, the heathen are all those that are not descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and the predominant descendants by the curses are pursuant to Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, are the so-called blacks, Native Americans, and Hispanics. Okay, so the heathen are going to be Edomites, Elamites, Moabites, Ishmaelites, all of the other nations that are not of the seed by flesh and by spirit, descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Okay, so I'm going into Micah, the fourth chapter to begin. Okay, so I started Micah 4 and 1. It says, "But in the last days it shall come to pass that the mountain of the house of the Lord shall be established in the top of the mountains, and it shall be exalted above the hills, and people shall flow unto it." All right, so that's the Lord awakening his people, the elect of the nation of Israel in these last days. We're flowing back into the house of the Lord, all right? We're remembering our culture, remembering our heritage, remembering the name of our power, okay? Shalom to the Akim on the comment board. Shalom, Brother Shakam, GMS inquire early. All right, it's verse 2. It says, "And many nations shall come and say, Come and let us go to the mountain of the Lord and to the house of the Most High of Jacob, and we will teach us, and he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For the law shall go forth of Zion, and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem." All right, so these things are to take place when the kingdom of heaven is set up, and the other nations will be obligated to follow the law of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Okay, going on to verse 3, because just to mention on that, they're not able to do that now. All right, the heathen are not. What does Daniel 12 and 10 say? None of the wicked shall understand, and the wicked shall do wickedly. Only the wise shall understand. So they're not going to go back to the power of Jacob and praise and teach the law of the Lord. Okay, even let me see if I can get Deuteronomy, the fourth chapter. All right, this is Deuteronomy 4 and 6. "Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, Surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people." All right, so the law of the Lord, and then under the grace of our power, man, that shows how we are wise and understanding people, and we're proving that to the nations right now on the highways and the byways. Okay, so going back to Micah 4, I'll go up to verse 3. It says, "And he shall judge among many people, and rebuke strong nations afar off, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up a sword against nation, and neither shall they learn war anymore." Okay, so you know that isn't talking about on this side, because the Lord Yahweh Shai, he spoke of something different. All right, so let me get that in Matthew the 24th chapter really quickly. This is Matthew 24 and 6. "And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars." That's right, brother. He said these nations don't like when our people are in order. That's absolutely right, man. They don't like, you don't like seeing so-called Negroes and Hispanics reading Bibles, trying to get our people from being drug addicts and clowns and coons and just dancing under Esaus song. You know, they don't want to see that, man. They don't want to see our people in righteousness. It's good. You know, I was thinking about this earlier. You'll notice Edomites love Kevin Hart, man. No matter where I go, when I bring up Kevin Hart, Edomites always love Kevin Hart, man. And that's because he's I call him the American jester, man. You know, he claps and dances for them, man. And you know, he doesn't say anything truly offensive to them. You know, what do they say about comedy? Comedy is supposed to be a part funny, a part pain, and a part truth, man. And so, you know, if you're not giving that truth and that pain, you know, he say laugh at my pain, but he's making a joke of himself as opposed to trying to uplift his people. Okay, so going back to Matthew 24 and 6, it says, "And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet." All right, so it says the Lord said there's going to be wars and rumors of wars. So you know that this time spoken in Micah, the 4th chapter and the 3rd verse is not talking about the time here, man, because these wars and these rumors of wars are already taking place now. Okay, so let me read Micah 4 and 3 again. And he shall judge among many people and rebuke strong nations afar off, and they shall beat their swords into plows and their spears into pruning hooks. So plowshares and pruning hooks are like gardening devices, fishing devices. They're not used for war. All right, it says they shall not learn war anymore. That's because after the nations are getting the brakes beaten off of them, after they've established the kingdom, the other nations besides the Edomites are going to be able to live in peace, man. Let me get that in Proverbs. This is Proverbs 29 and 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn, man. All right, the people of the earth, the other nations are mourning right now. They're in a state of mourning, okay? But when the nation of Israel, the so-called blacks, Native Americans, and Hispanics, and those of confusion and faith are put into power, the people are no longer going to mourn, man. They're going to rejoice, all right? Of course, they got to get that 1,000 years of torment first, all right? Because that's according to a biblical prophecy. And what does Isaiah 34 and 16 say? It says, none of these shall fail. So all of the prophecies have to come to pass for truth's sake, for the Lord's word's sake. Everything in this Bible that he said is going to happen, it's going to happen. There's no way around it. All right. So going on to verse 4, as a matter of fact, verse 3 speaks about even Revelation, the 21st chapter. It says they shall not learn war anymore. This is Revelation 21 and 4. And the Most High shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away. All right? The opposite is happening right now. They're spending money they will usually spend on agriculture, on building weapons, nukes, etc. Khan, brother. Khan, I was going to bring that scripture up too. Joel 3 and 10. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hook into the spear, to the weak will say, I'm strong. All right, that's what these other countries are doing right now. All of these smaller nations, man. All right, they're using their finances, they're using their funds, they're using their reserves to fund their nuclear agenda. All right, and that's ultimately to destroy America, man. The Lord has the spirit on these nations. Okay, let me get that in Isaiah 54, because the Lord his hand is, the heart's king is in the Lord's hand, man. This is Isaiah 54 and 16. Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire and bringeth forth an instrument for his work, and I have created the waster to destroy it. All right, so the Lord's created these missiles, man. All right, he's using these different men to, they're changing things that they can use to be profitable for agriculture and land and to truly help their country benefit. But no, man, we're in the time. Right? Ecclesiastes, the 3rd chapter, says a time for love, a time for hate, a time for peace, and a time for war, man. We're in the time of war. That war spirit is being prophesied all over the earth through the Lord's men. The time of war is being foretold by these other nations, all right? You got countries bombing on countries. You got America. America's getting laughed at, man. Donald Trump just got laughed at the UN meeting, man. All right? It says the beast shall hate the whore. All right, so these countries are willing to forego all of the things they have in order just to destroy America, man. Just to use their goods to destroy America. Okay, so like that brother said, let the weak say I am strong. That's right, man. These countries who you thought had no nuclear might, who thought they weren't doing big things, they saying I'm strong, man. They got something to put forth with these different countries to put up against America, and especially you got Russia backing a lot of these smaller countries, man. So, it's just like you got a little kid on the yard, and he ain't that big and bad when he all by himself, man. All right, but now if you got a big bully that's defending him on the yard, if you got a big dude that's defending him on the yard, he gonna think he a little bit stronger, man. He think he got a little bit more might. All right, and so that's how these smaller countries are. They saying let the weak say I am strong, man. All right, they think they got something going on for themselves. They have these missiles. All right, like we always make a little joke. North Korea probably only got 2 missiles. They probably got more. We always make the joke. But even if North Korea got 2 missiles, man, then 2 missiles gonna hit America. And all of these smaller countries that got their little missiles, man, 200 million are coming. And all of these countries about to have a little piece of destroying America, man. All right. So right now, like the brother said, prepare war, wake up the mighty men. All right. So that's the Lord is waking up the mighty men, and they're beating their plowshares into swords and bringing their pruning hooks into spears. All right. So going back to Micah, this is Micah 3 and 4. But they shall sit every man under his vine and under his fig tree, and none shall make them afraid, for the mouth of the Lord of hosts has spoken it. All right. So we're not going to be in a fearful state in the kingdom of heaven, first and foremost, man. We're not going to be worried about war, worried about our enemies, all right? Because the Lord is going to put his spirit and spiritual power into his men to where these different nations aren't going to be anything but except receive total subjection, all right? Just like Psalms 149 chapter, put in their kings in chains and fetters of iron, man, okay? Verse 5. For all people will walk everyone in the name of his God, and we will walk in the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, our power forever and ever, man. Okay, so right now, what do all these nations do? They walk themselves about, they say Allah, they say Buddha, they say Krishna, they say, you know, they Scientologists and atheists, and, you know, Baphomet, all of these, and even the 2/3 of the nation of Israel, man. Children of, you know, Balaam, you know, children of Belial. You have all of these different wicked people out right now walking in the name of their power, man. All right, but a power that is nobody. It said, did Jeremiah not say, ye gods that are no gods, man? Okay, so, but we going to walk in the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua forever and forever, man. Lord willing, we're his men. Okay, verse 6. In that day, said the Lord, will I assemble her that halteth, and I will gather her that is driven out, and her that I have afflicted. Okay, so who has, now you have to ask, what nation of people has who the world calls God and who the world calls Christ, who has he afflicted? Because all nations have not been seen the afflictions of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. There's only one nation that have seen the affliction of the Lord. Okay, and I'm going to get that. This is Psalms 147 and 20. Start at 19. He showed his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. He had not dealt so with any nation, and as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye the Lord. All right, so if they haven't known the judgments of the Lord, so when it talks about those who he have afflicted and those he have driven out, all right, it's definitely not, brother Shakam says, it's not those fake Jews in Israel. It's definitely not them, man. They haven't received affliction. They've received mercy from the governments, man. Mercy from the people calling themselves, even now when you speak against them, it's called anti-Semitism, man. All right, when they're not the true Jews according to the Bible. All right, so it says, to gather her that is driven out. So that's right, brother. They're living in splendor, man. They're living great lives, man. They have, you talk to so-called Jews, man, they have great homes, businesses, lawyers, doctors, all these types of things set up, man. And I hate seeing the Amalekites. You walked in the store and they got on them damn yarmulkes, man, which is totally off. Well, I always say, man, anything that you see an Amalekite doing, man, do the opposite. You know, because they wicked as hell, man. They living in all splendor. They, you know, and it says the true Jews shall be in poverty. That's how you know. That's a clear indicator that they are not. But see, this world thinks if the more money you have, the more the Most High is blessing you. That's the philosophy that's turned the world upside down. But it's really his people are afflicted, man. Does he not say he deals with the meek and the lowly? All right. It says a rich man cannot enter, has a better chance of entering in the eye of a needle than to enter into the kingdom of the Most High, man. Okay, so that's how you know they're not the children of the Most High. He says he's going to gather those that he has afflicted. All right, he's afflicted the nation of Israel according to the curses of Deuteronomy 28:15 through 68. All right, because we haven't received the blessings yet. Verses 1 through 14. All right, going on, Micah 4 and 7. And I will make her that halted a remnant, and her that was cast afar off a strong nation. All right, Israel was cast afar off, man. And he said he's coming back for that remnant of Jacob. All right, and the Lord shall reign over them in Mount Zion from henceforth, even forever. So in the nation of the kingdom of heaven, the Lord is going to rule over us, man. He's going to put his words in our inward parts. Okay, going on, it says, and thou, O tower of the flock, the stronghold of the daughter of Zion, unto thee shall it come, even the first dominion. The kingdom shall come to the daughter of Jerusalem. So that's a clear cut right there to anybody who says, because Jerusalem is a people for a place. But it says the kingdom will come to the daughter of Jerusalem. All right, so the kingdom is not going to come to the daughter of the heathen. If you're not of the nation of Israel, you are not going to receive the kingdom in righteousness to be a king and a priest. You're going to receive it as a slave and a servant. All right, verse 9. Now why dost thou cry out aloud? Is there no king in thee? Is thy counselor perished? For pangs have taken thee as woman in travail. All right, that's how we're sighing and crying out, man. All right, as a woman in travail, we're crying for the Lord to come. We do have a king in us, man, Yahweh Shai. Okay, and he's our counselor, he's our leader, he's our big brother, he's our example. All right, and he's leading us down the path of righteousness. So we're crying out right now for all of the things that does it not say in Revelation the 5th chapter how the prayers of the saints are being released, man? We're constantly praying, we're constantly sighing and crying to the Lord for him to come in and rejuvenate us and lift us up, man, and get us out of this damn captivity. Babylon is a vanity and vexation of spirit. Okay, verse 10. Be in pain and labor to bring forth, O daughter of Zion. See that? Are the Amalekites, the so-called Jews, in pain, man? And I'm not talking about, oh, you fell down and you hurt your leg. I'm not talking about, something bad happened at your job, so now you feel like you got to slit your wrist. That's not pain, man. I'm talking about years and decades and centuries of being enslaved, having your ancestors and yourself in past life, bodies thrown to alligators, bodies castrated, heads cut off, being lynched, being worried about getting shot down in the street, being put in prison houses. That is an affliction. That is true pain, man. All right? And right now we got to be in pain under our jobs, under Esau, under the cops, under our women, under our household, men under children, All right? So it says, be in pain and labor to bring forth, O daughter of Zion. That's what we got to labor, man. We out here laboring, man. It says, a man that put his hand to the plow and look back is not fit to receive the kingdom of heaven, man. So that's why we got to labor. We got to work hard for this thing. It says, like a woman in travail, for now shalt thou go forth out of the city, and thou shalt dwell in the field, and thou shalt go even to Babylon. There shalt thou be delivered. There the Lord shall redeem thee from the hand of thine enemies. Okay, so this is how you know that the Babylon can't be Christianity. Babylon can't be the Vatican. All right, he says from Babylon, that's where his people are going to be delivered. Okay, of course he's going to deliver our people from all over the world, but Babylon has had its influence on these other nations as well. Does it not say the kings of the nations have drunk of the wine of the Babylon's fornication, man? Okay, so a huge predominant portion of his people are here in Babylon. Okay, it says, so I wanted to get a point because I brought up turning the swords into Pruninghooks and Plowshares. All right, so you also got to understand some of the job duties of the heathen in the kingdom of heaven. All right, because they're going to have things to do. All right, this is Ezekiel 39 and 13. Yea, all the people of the land shall bury them, and it shall be to them a renown that the day that I shall be glorified, saith the Lord Yahweh. All right, so they're gonna be racking up bodies and burning bodies. There's gonna be bodies everywhere, man, in the streets across these different countries. All right, because we know Babylon's gonna be destroyed off the face of the earth, but there are plenty of other countries for people to do work in. Okay, it says, and it shall be to them a renown the day that I shall be glorified. Okay, because in Jeremiah, let me just get it real quick. Jeremiah 16, everybody likes to talk about Egypt and how glorious it was that the Red Sea was split, all that kind of stuff. But the Lord said he got another day where he's going to be glorified, all right? This is Jeremiah 16 and 14. Therefore, behold, the days come, said the Lord, that it shall no more be said, the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. All right, so he says that's not even going to be said anymore, man. But the Lord liveth that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north and from all the lands whither he had driven them, and I will bring them again unto their land that I gave unto their fathers. All right, so from Babylon, from all the nations that have been scattered abroad, this is the land of the north, man. And the Lord's going to deliver his people from this, and that's going to be the day that the Lord is renowned, and the day that he's going to be glorified, man. Okay, when the chariots crack the skies, the chariots of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, who the things that the world ignorantly calls UFOs. Okay, they're going to crack the clouds, and that's going to be a glorious day, and it's going to be talked about forever, man. Okay, it says, and they shall sever out men of continual employment, passing through the land to bury with the passengers those that remain upon the face of the earth, to cleanse it after the end of 7 months shall they search, man. All right, so they're going to be cleaning up bodies for a long ass time, man. Okay, and we know the number 7 is a number of completion. But also, they're going to have a time, because eventually those bodies are going to be all buried, and then they're going to have other jobs. All right, it says they're going to have continual employment, man. Continual. They're going to always have things to do, man. You know, it's just like they think they had us doing stuff, picking cotton and finding different duties and tasks for us to do. The Lord said they're going to have continual employment. All right. The thing is, your employment is not going to be paid. All right. So your employment, you're going to be working at free slave, hardcore bondage labor, man. All right. Okay, so going back to Micah, the 4th chapter, because I want to get that, because it says the sword is going to be beaten into plowshares, because what is Esau's biggest weapon? I mean, what is Esau's blessing? His blessing is a sword. So what is Esau without a sword, man? Hey, you're going to be a gardener. You're going to be a damn undertaker, putting the bodies into the earth. You're going to be slaves. You're going to be damn nurses and babysitters. Let me get that in Isaiah. It's Isaiah 49 and 23. It says, matter of fact, I started 22. Thus said the Lord power, behold, I will lift up mine hand to the Gentiles and set up my standard to the people. And they shall bring thy sons in their arms, and their daughters shall be carried upon their shoulders. And kings shall be thy nursing fathers, and queens thy nursing mothers. All right, so they're going to be babysitters. They're going to be taking care and looking after our children. And I wish Esau would try to put his hand towards one of our children, man. He's going to be put to death instantly. All right? But they're going to know, man, because the fear of the Lord is going to be in them. And they're not going to do things to anger the men of the Lord. All right? It says, they shall bow down to thee with their face toward the earth, and lift up the dust of thy feet, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord. For they shall not be ashamed that wait for me, man. All right? So that's why we got to wait on the Lord. Because look what he's promising to the nation of Israel, man. That the heathen and our enemies are going to bow and lift up the dust of our feet, man. They're going to be our servants. They're going to be our handmaids. All right? So you have to know that the Lord is your guiding light. You have to know that